someday you might see it. Yeah, never say die. Got to go.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the second round of the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Dynasty Series Tournament. Today we have Crimson Mage playing as Damon versus Yusei Fudo playing as Duel Giant, a guy who was lucky enough to get a skip to the second duel, or second duel. So let's see if Damon's speed deck can take, or draw power deck can take on Duel Giant's giant deck. It's kind of a giant orc deck, Goblin King deck. It's weird. Giant orc is supposed to be Beauregard, and Goblin King is supposed to be Little Briar, but whatever. Upstart Goblin helps both of them out, honestly. Yusei Fudo or, Duel Giant will be happy to have those life points, and honestly, Damon will be happy to have new monsters and new cards, because they need to draw a Muka Muka. Without Muka Muka, their deck is pretty much just draw power. With Muka Muka, it's problematic. Spirit of the Pot of Greed. Every time Pot of Greed is activated, you get to draw one more card. Does that mean they have Pot of Greed? Let's find out. Yep. And there it is. They get to draw 3 cards from Pot of Greed. And there we go. You never get to see Spirit of the Pot of Greed activate, but today's the day. Today is the day. Shield Crush will destroy the big Shield Gardna. Doesn't that have effect? I think it can save itself, right? Haha! Big Shield Gardna saves itself. Good job. That happened to be one of the few monsters that it doesn't work on. Not a very common thing you get to see, but I love it. Alright. So, no more draw power, and you're just stuck with the Spirit of the Pot of Greed, huh? And let's see what we got. What will Yusei / Duel Giant actually draw? One of the bigger monsters is necessary to destroy the spirit. Bigger than this card. Hell, even a Goblin Calligrapher could defeat this card if they had it. They just need to do it. So, what are we going to do? What's the big old plan? We're in standby phase. These trap cards keep trying to activate then. And we have a Warrior Digrapher. Not a bad monster. It'll do the job. Spirit of the Pot of Greed needs to be dealt with, and this is a good way to deal with it. Go ahead and attack it. Do some heavy damage to Damon. And stop them from getting Muka Muka, hopefully. Even though they probably already have it. Alright, Spirit of the Pot of Greed takes the hit. That's 1,600 damage. Crimson Mage and Damon are falling down. But it's not over yet. I like that we have all these spectators here, because we actually do have some spectators here. Other people that want to duel in round 2 are here today. And we have quite a few of them. Even though I know I'm going to have to take over some of the slots as well. Which is fun, because that means I get to duel. Oh man, that's going to be fun. Alright, so what are you going to do? We got Big D and we got Big A. We got another Pot of Greed, of course. That's a great card. And let's see what they can do with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cards, but no Muka Mukas in sight or enraged Muka Mukas. Monster Reborn for enraged Muka Muka, that makes sense. Although, if you were going to... Oh, you probably got Monster Reborn from Pot of Greed. Never mind. I'm not here to judge anymore. I figured it out. And now Tribute Summon for an ultimate monster. Here's the ultimate monster with 3,200 attack, 2,600 defense, unstoppable enraged Muka Muka. Even the Big Shield Gardna is shaking in his boots. Warrior Digrapher will suffer a humiliating loss in this attack. So let's see what happens. Yep, 1,500 damage right back. Yusei Fudo did get to heal, but this was the card that was going to change it all. And honestly, I don't feel too much faith in the Duel Giants deck. He was lucky to get a skip, but unlucky that Damon was his next opponent. Like, of all the people that made it to round 2, the one I'd be willing to fight is probably Chaz, no offense to Chaz, or Kagemaru maybe? Kagemaru's deck is a little too bricky for it to be good. And he only won thanks to his opponent being a luck-based deck. So, yeah. We have 3 traps and a big shield, but this Muka Muka just gets stronger with each card. Even though you obviously want to summon another monster so you can actually do damage this turn. But what's the other monster you're going to summon? Oh, no, you're not going to. You're just going to keep your monster's attack points high and go after the big shield Gardna. Nothing can stop an enraged Muka Muka with 6 cards in hand. Nothing in this tournament. Alright, Big Shield Gardna bites the dust, right? I'm gonna do a little animation where you punch him. There we go. Big Shield Gardna bites the dust. That is a shame. So, what is the final set card? Alright, just a set monster down to 3,200. Might as well, because you would have... no, actually, you could have kept it, but whatever. More monsters is better. This is probably Skelengel, or maybe even a Mimic. Something that lets you draw more cards anyway. And now Yusei has to make a decision. Do you go after this monster? If you have Giant Orc, you could destroy this card, and then go into defense mode and protect yourself, so... you have that option. You have 4 traps. I bet you they're all useless, but... you know, you have them. That's kind of nice. No monsters. Even though the Duel Giant doesn't have a single tribute monster in its deck, he has no monsters to stand up to Enraged Muka Muka. Alright, here we go. We have Hollowed Life Barrier, which could be used for stalling. That works. This card would have been nice. Earthquake is actually a way to save yourself from Enraged Muka Muka, but you threw it away. That's a big mistake. I believe there's something in this deck that can destroy monsters in defense mode, even if they have 3,000 defense. Alright, what are they going to do? It was a Mimic. Alright, Dark Mimic level 1, which now can evolve to Dark Mimic level 3 on its next standby phase, which is really funny. Alright, it got that monster up to 4,000 attack, but do you have another monster that's worth 400 points? Let's see. Not really. You're willing to weaken yourself. If you were going to set, you could have just done that on main phase 2. If you had planned on set. You didn't. Oh, you can't battle because of Hollowed Life Barrier. Never mind. I forgot that you couldn't attack at all. My brain turned off. It's easy to do that. Trust me. Turning off my brain is just instant. Alright. Call of the Haunted on what? What is worth summoning at this point? I guess to do some damage. Yeah, Warrior Deck Grepher can hit the Mimic before it evolves and do some damage. That could be very important to you. Alright, let's see what it does. You gotta knock this opponent. You gotta knock your opponent's life points as low as possible, right? That way, if there's any way to sneak their life points down to 0, you have that chance. But I don't believe that Damon's deck or Duel Giant's deck is very skilled based. I don't think they have many burn cards at all, or any. Alright, we have a set card. And let's see what happens next. 4,000 attack is pretty good. Upstart Goblin will help the opponent, but at the same time help the... well, not really help Enraged Muka Muka. I think they're just looking for another Enraged Muka Muka or a possible regular Muka Muka. Something to just, you know, keep their field strong. Plus, this card probably has a flip effect anyway, or not. What card would you have on the field that doesn't have a flip effect? What a weird game. What a weird game. Alright, Crimson Mage goes in, does 2,300 damage. Yusei Fudo finally falls below 8,000. We've been waiting all game for that to happen. Now, what will happen with this? What will you plan? Oh, they threw away question. Yep. This question card could have helped you, actually. Send all cards in your hand. Oh, shit. No, it can't. That's terrible. You don't want to switch life points with your opponent, ever. If it means you got to throw everything away. That's like a last resort card right there. Alright. What are you going to do? Duel Giant. I know you don't got many options. You don't have to do anything. You can just wait until you find out a perfect card. Gillosaurus! Hell yeah. Hopefully that was a normal summon. Gillosaurus can most likely destroy anything in Damon's deck. Let's see what he has to offer. Alright, Damon, what were you hiding the whole time? Was that Dark Mimic level 3? What was it? I need to know. My curiosity. It was Skellinger. You could, I guess, Hollowed Life Barrier makes sense. Alright, you draw a card. You are at 4,000 attack. That's literally, and Muka Muka the Tormentor right there. Muka Muka the Tormentor will not be messed with. If only both their stats were the same. Oh, man. So, what are we going to do now? 4,400. Holy crap. It's as strong as an ultimate ancient gear golem. Nothing will stop the ultimate Enraged Muka Muka. Or, sorry, a Muka Muka the Tormentor mixed in with, God, what has 2,700 attack? Muka Muka the Wing Weaver? Or is that 2,750? Damn it, I don't know why it has 2,700 attack. Maybe Wing Weaver? It might have been that one. That might have 2,750 though. I can't remember. All I know is Enraged attacks this one. This guy attacks that one. It's a good duel. Alright, go ahead. Do as I command. This attacks this one. This attacks this one. Even if that's a Big Shield Gardner, this one will stop it. Was Big Shield Gardner. Okay, well, just barely. The Muka Muka was able to destroy the Big Shield. You know what? Big Koala. Big Muka Muka. It's Big Koala has 2,700 attack. There we go. So now with this on the field, yes, Yusei has a lot of life points, but if they draw one more Muka Muka, the duel's over. Or if they don't draw a monster, the duel's over. So what will good old Duel Giant do after the end phase? There's something going on here. They have to toss a card. Doron! Oh no, not Doron. How could you? How could you throw away the legendary Doron? Alright, this looks like the end of the duel. Of course, another Hollowed Life Barrier could stall, give them one more turn for Duel Giant to come back, but right now... Oh look, it's the legendary Doron. This looks like it's cut and dry. This card actually isn't that bad in the Sacred Cards or the... What's the other one called? The Rechef of Destruction game. But in this game, it's terrible. It's level 2 Warrior. Yeah. Not very good. Hey look, they did have another stall card, and they threw away another Earthquake. They can't help themselves. Yep, Hollowed Life Barrier says no damage, so no damage will be dealt. And now they're forced to end their turn. So, what will happen next? Doesn't look too good. Doesn't look too good. Alright, and what happens now? Yeah, you hit the Doron! You brought Damon down to 4,000 life points! Not since Wheeler's victory over Damon have I seen such damage. And MST to get rid of the last Hollowed Life Barrier. Oh, it was Divine Wrath. Well, this is a passive effect, so it does not work. Alright. This is getting pretty brutal. This is getting pretty sad. And there was no chance of survival. Just no chance. Literally 300 life points staring down two of the strongest Muka Mukas I've ever seen. I don't know how the Duel Giant does it. Even his giant orc can't stand up to the freaking regular Muka Muka, let alone the enraged one. What could you possibly do, Yusei Fudo? Now, if you top deck a tuner monster, I'll be surprised, but that's you're not actually Yusei, so go ahead. All right. That looks like the end. Let's all guess. I think this card is a Goblin Calligrapher. It could be Goblin King. It could be Coach Second. I don't know. I'm going to say Goblin Calligrapher. That's my guess on what the last monster was. And the last monster is Giant Orc. Oh, that's depressing. Oh, God, they had to put it in defense mode. That's so sad. Muka Muka the Tormentor will win the first duel. We're moving on to game number 2, everybody. Muka Muka the Tormentor is not to be messed with. Literally unstoppable. All right, so let's see how game 2 goes. So far, so good. So far, so good. I'm hoping for some good comebacks from the Duel Giant. The best way to win is Duel Giant. Not only is you have to get lucky your opponent doesn't start with a good hand, but get Giant Orc out early, do as much damage as possible, have Hollowed Life Barrier to protect it, and then just continue to beat down your opponent before the Muka Mukas come out. Because there's only 4 Muka Mukas in the deck in total. Oh, they could send Pot of Greed from their hand to the graveyard to draw 3 cards instead. That's amazing. So instead of activating Pot of Greed, you just draw 3 cards thanks to Avatar of the Pot. Very interesting. Alright. What can you possibly do? Ooh, we're starting to get more spectators appearing for this duel. They want to watch. Alright, Gillosaurus can be special summoned because there's no monsters in the grave, which means a normal summon is still possible. And what will Yusei Fudo decide to normal summon? Something good? Yeah, the Giant Orc. You got to do as much damage as possible. You need to do as much damage as possible. Muka Muka be damned. That's right. You got to rush this guy down and then play Hollowed Life Barrier and pray to God that you can get something strong like Goblin King. And then if you can pull off 2 Goblin Kings, you have the lock. And the lock will save you. Not your dino, but it'll save you now. Alright, good turn. Good turn. No traps. Never mind. Average turn. Average turn. Still decent, but average. We could do better. I expect more. Muka Muka is here. You might as well do that 2200 because this thing could overpower you. I love it. Muka Muka has joined the field. Now, obviously, Giant Orc should be the target because Gillosaurus is not a fiend. Okay, well, we're going to do damage. They're so confident that Muka Muka will never be defeated. But now, if they draw the Goblin King, they have a chance of having 2 Goblin Kings. And if they achieve the double Goblin King, you'll be locked. That's like the only thing I can think of. This whole time I've been thinking, like, how does Duel Giant do this? And that's how. Ooh, by setting 1 card, they can be defeated, but it's probably a bait card like Jar of Greed. That way when they attack, they lose. It's actually pretty funny to do that. Jar of Greed. Well, you could have done that during the battle phase, but to each their own. Alright. How will you make up for this? You gotta be brave. Summon Goblin King in attack mode. Have Hollowed Life Barrier, hopefully. And then go ham. And then go ham. Alright. What will Yusei Fudo do? How will the Duel Giant overcome the Muka Mukas? He could also put that card in defense mode with Earthquake. And then Giant Orc could defeat it. Or not. Or not. We can just set a card. No spells, no traps. Just set a card. Okay. Okay. Shield Crush. Obviously, that could be a Big Shield Gardna. It was not a Big Shield Gardna. Okay, interesting. Warrior Digreffer has sadly died. That's one of their better beater monsters. And I'm assuming that... oh, wow. You weren't going to summon a monster just to destroy that and then do like 2100 direct damage. Interesting. That does buy Yusei Fudo a turn at least. At least one. Alright, the attack goes through. I'm starting to feel bad. The Duel Giant's literally having a tough time here. And it's going to be all up to them. How will this duel end? How many lives must be lost? Until the Muka Muka falls. I saw Wheeler the Monkey actually destroy the Muka Muka deck a few times. And Enraged Muka Muka is here. Now you have a bigger problem. See, an Earthquake ain't going to be as effective on this one. This thing has 2,600 defense. 2,200 defense. It's close, but it's not enough. Therefore, you're in trouble. Damn it, damn it, damn it. How do you do it, Duel Giant? Granted, you're the only one that's done damage. To keep their hand big, they've had to do this. Oh, well, that card doesn't actually give you any new cards. Hey, it gives you a new card, but it doesn't actually add more attack points. You're back to 28. Because whatever you add, you take away. Now, if you get more than one good Goblin Housekeeping, you can, make up for it. But for now, just one. So, what is your plan, Duel Giant? Like I said, the Goblin King strat was my only way out. That's the only thing I could think of. But that lock won't work unless you have a Hollowed Life Barrier to stall for a turn and 2 Goblin Kings. So, that's a thing you could try, but it's probably not a good idea. That's probably the only idea you have. And then the only way you win is you Earthquake your opponent. That way your Goblin Kings can overpower it after summoning a 3rd Fiend monster, 4th Fiend monster. Whatever it takes, really. Alright, Yusei's taking their sweet time. I don't know how complicated the Duel Giants deck could be. Honestly, I don't think it's very complicated at all. If you don't have any options, you don't have any options. You just set, pass. Yusei Fudo is starting to worry me because of how long it's taking. There's only 5 cards in your hand. I can't believe that's that crazy. Maybe you're really thinking of a plan that I can't even think of. Alright, we got a set. Could be Big Shield Gardna, but it won't make a difference. Do we have another set? That's the real question. No, we do not. This duel's over. The way this is going, I don't see a comeback opportunity. Especially if they draw another Muka. Because right now, they can't win with just one Enraged Muka Muka. That's the good news. Is the opponent that Damon will lose if they just try to win with one of these. It was Goblin King! No! You needed something to protect it. Or if you have Monster Born, there's that option. You have to get 2 Goblin Kings on the field because while you control another Fiend monster, this card cannot be attacked. So if you have 2 Goblin Kings, they're both Fiend monsters, they cannot be attacked. If you have 3 Goblin Kings, it gets crazy. Like literally, you could literally stall your opponent to death. They will lose the duel. But you can't put them in defense mode or Shield Crush will kill you. Alright, so do you have Goblin King and Monster Reborn? Well, we have Earthquake. And that means Enraged Muka Muka with that many cards on the field. I bet you that's a Jar of Greed or something, or a good Goblin Housekeeping. We have Monster Reborn for Giant Orc, or Muka Muka now, or Giant Orc. I pray they didn't have the Goblin King in their hand. If they had Goblin King in their hand, I'm going to be so sad. Because then they could have got the lock, and that's actually their only way of winning. This way... Oh! Goblin second! That's funny! That's actually fun. I'm having fun. I'm having fun watching this. Goblin second's like, no. No, you're not allowed to go into defense mode. Get up! I'm not throwing in the tower. Towel, sorry. Get up, you bum! Oh, no. Alright, let's see. 2200 could defeat it right now. But Fairy Meteor Crush is funny, actually. That's kind of funny. You might be able to do some damage to the face down monster and then die to Enraged Muka Muka. Or you think you're going to beat Enraged Muka Muka, which is a very nice thought, but there's no traps in Damon's deck that don't let them draw cards. So they let you think you had a chance and then activate good Goblin Housekeeping. It didn't activate! Oh god! Big mistake. This card, I can't even imagine what it was. But big mistake, that's not good. And then you got it. You didn't use... the thing. You didn't use it. Morphin Jar gets... I guess it didn't matter. Enraged Muka Muka was still stronger than you. Yeah. The second Enraged Muka Muka is pretty good. It was Pot of Greed. That's why it didn't work. Alright. I don't know why you would ever set Pot of Greed. That was just a bad play. And Monster Reborn for the second Enraged Muka Muka equals a GG. That is game, everybody. Even if they were in attack mode, it would have made no difference. Even if they were in attack mode, nothing would have been different. 2 Enraged Muka Mukas would have torn down this monster. Yusei Fudo, I don't see how you come back anymore. The only hope was double Goblin King. That was the only thing you could do. Stall out their deck. But you couldn't even do that. You didn't have 2 Goblin Kings, only 1. And if you just drew a Goblin King, I'm going to feel so bad for you. Alright, so 1 Enraged Muka Muka could do 3,200 damage this turn, 4,000 next turn. That's guaranteed death in 3 turns. Or guaranteed death in 2 turns if they summon 1 more monster with like 1,200 attack points. Alright, let's see it. There we go. The damage is too good. The damage is too good. Well, it's taking a while. I don't know why it's taking so long. And 1 more attack will do it. So, if they do draw a monster with 1,200 attack points, 32 plus 12, does actually just not win. Never mind. Unless they draw Muka Muka regular, they can't win the duel next turn. So, let's see what they draw. Or if they draw Pot of Greed. You know what? They could still win the duel. They just have to draw another draw power card. Alright. Goblin King, it took too long for him to come. And without the monster aboard Goblin King strat, it's over. 3,600. Alright. 1,200 life points left. 1 more turn to go. It looks like Damon is going to top 8. And if anybody was going to go, it was going to be Damon's Enraged Muka Muka deck. Alright, let's see how it goes. We're at Obelisk the Tormentor level. It's Muka Muka the Tormentor. Muka Muka the Tormentor, what shall you do? Alright, Goblin Calligrapher. Oh, there it is. Remember last game when I tried to predict it as the last card? I meant last card for the entire duel. For the entire match, not just one duel. And there it is, everybody. The winner will be Damon and his draw power deck. Whew, that deck's going to be a tournament contender. I'll see you all next time, but right now I am terrified looking at this deck. But who knows, maybe the other competitors will be just as good. See you all then.